Let me tell you something curious about quietness in a world that never stops talking. We live in an age where everything gets displayed, yet some people remain unseen, wandering through the digital crowd silently. The question people always whisper is, why choose invisibility in a place built for spotlights? Most assume they're just shy or introverted, but the truth runs deeper, shaped by how a person sees themselves and resists a culture obsessed with being noticed. For some, silence isn't a lack. It's a boundary, a decision to curate not what they show, but what they refuse to give away. Research shows that people who rarely post tend to display traits like introspection, restraint, and emotional autonomy. They're less vulnerable to comparison and less dependent on external validation, trying to understand who they are, not perform. When you stop posting, you detach your worth from applause and return to experiencing moments instead of packaging them. That's the quiet psychology. They crave authenticity in a place that often feels staged. Psychologists talk about psychological ownership, the sense that a moment belongs to you, and every time you post it, that ownership dilutes. So when someone steps out of that cycle, it looks like rebellion, but it's actually healing. They cook without photographing, travel without tagging, and feel without explaining. And in that stillness, a different self-awareness awakens, one that doesn't need an audience. The quietest people online often have the loudest inner worlds, choosing contemplation over performance. They understand that not every experience is meant for display. Some of life's most transformative moments happen without witnesses. Being unseen does not mean being insignificant. It's often where your truest identity forms, away from the audience. And the ones who don't post, they remind us that we weren't meant to be performances, but people.
So when someone steps out of that cycle, it looks like rebellion, but it's actually healing. They cook without photographing. They travel without tagging. They feel without explaining. And in that stillness, a different self-awareness awakens, one that doesn't need an audience. But not everyone who disappears does it out of peace. Some vanish out of fear of misinterpretation, fear of being ignored, fear of being judged. There's a pressure online that psychologists call self-presentational strain, the sense that you're being watched even when you're not. For some, that weight becomes unbearable. They withdraw not because they don't want to connect, but because the cost of connection feels too high. And here's the irony. The quietest people online often have the loudest inner worlds. They're not empty. They're overflowing, choosing contemplation over performance. In a world shouting, "Look at me," choosing to stay unseen becomes a form of defiance. A way of saying, "I exist on my own terms." They scroll, they feel, they empathize, but they rarely project. They understand something many don't. Not every experience is meant for display. Some of life's most transformative moments happen without witnesses. Growth, grief, reinvention. None of it comes with a share button. And once you've lived enough of those private transformations, you realize that being unseen does not mean being insignificant. It's often where your truest identity forms, away from the audience.